Let's talk about the Toronto Marlies. No, not the ones who are playing the Sabres on Saturday. Those are still technically the Maple Leafs if you want to split hairs. I'm talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs American Hockey League affiliate, the Toronto Marlies. The powerful Toronto Marlies. The league leading 246 goals for in 63 games, Toronto Marlies. The lost 4 of their last 5 games, Toronto Marlies. If you combine the Marlies' regulation, overtime, and shootout losses so far this season, they have only lost 19 out of 63 games. And 4 of those losses have come in their last 5, so what's the problem? What's going on? Does Leafs Nation need to panic? Well, probably not, and let's go through those reasons. So if you're the Toronto Marlies, you could easily use the excuse that, well, we just are missing a lot of players, that's why we're not doing so good. They don't seem to be too keen on doing that. I spoke with Toronto Marlies head coach Sheldon Keefe, and he had some things to say about the slump. Most importantly, that he didn't buy the excuse that a lack of personnel is why the Marlies are losing.
First of all, we knew that it was going to be much harder for us, particularly once we hit about the 40 game mark, 35, 40 game mark. We knew that to that point we had played about 30% of our games against teams that at that point weren't in the playoffs, and we had over 50% of our games remaining in the season really against teams that were firmly in playoff spots. So the quality competition has increased greatly for us. The schedule's been difficult. Then you combine that with the players we've been missing. That's a tough combination. Also, it's a tough time of year here. There's a lot of different dynamics at play. Season's wearing on guys. We were firmly in a good position in the standings, which is natural to maybe take the foot off the gas a little bit from a player perspective. As a staff, we've been well aware of these factors that are lingering and try to address them, but talking about them and having the players really dialed in on an everyday basis is a tough thing to do. Ultimately, it's rare in our season that this has gone on, but we're not immune to it. Every team in the league at this point has gone through something like this, and we hadn't, and that's why we were where we were in the standings. Our moment is now. How we're going to deal with it as a group. I don't buy the fact that players are away as a reason. We played without players for a good chunk of our season at different times and managed just fine. So quality competition has made it where it's harder for us to generate offense, to score. Offense has dried up a little bit, and when that happens and you're only scoring 2 goals a game, it's difficult to win hockey games. So everything gets magnified when that's the case. So we've been trying to overcome all this kind of stuff, and this weekend here is a good opportunity for us to do that. You know what? As we go through the games, we watch the video. Don't feel that badly about our game. We feel we're actually doing some things real well. I mean, the last weekend in particular, we are dominant in Portland. Maybe as dominant as we've been in a long time. We're up 2-0 and play a tremendous first period in Providence, and we're up 2-0 at the end of the second even in that game. So we're in control there. And we play an Albany game, 3-3 with travel and a time change, and it's 2-2 with 30 seconds left in the hockey game or whatever it was. So we're right there. We just got to take care of all the details.
Whatever the reason is for the Marlies' recent slump, it's actually kind of good that a slump like this, only losing 4 out of your last 5 games, is noteworthy. That's usually a regular week in Leafland. And by the way, in hilarious Marlies fashion, their one win out of the last 5 was 9-2. And they still lead the league by 10 points. So for a team that is 44, 14, and 5, maybe experiencing this isn't so bad for the Marlies. Plus, it puts a lot more responsibility on guys who are already with the Marlies, like a Josh Levo, like a Brendan Leipsic, like a Stuart Percy, to pull them out of the slump. I mean, they might as well get their losses out of the way now, because the playoffs are right around the corner.